Hey everyone, let's look at dictionaries in Python, one of the most powerful and flexible data types in Python. Like a list, a dictionary is a mutable collection of many values, and a basic structure of creating a dictionary looks like this. It has a flower bracket followed by the key inside it and a colon followed by value. And you can provide any number of such key value pairs separated by comma. Let's try creating a dictionary and I will call it smart home, and in this dictionary I will store temperature and status of lights, and I will also say security armed. So this is my dictionary. So this statement will basically assign this dictionary to the smart home variable, and the dictionary keys are temperature, lights and security, whereas the values are 72 on and armed. So this is one key value pair and this is going to be another key value pair. So dictionary stores items in the key value pair format, and for accessing the items in this dictionary just need to use this variable name and followed by the key. If I use this smart home of temperature and print this, it will print the value of this temperature, which is 72. So in list we basically use the index, which is 0, 1, 2 and so on, but in dictionary we just use the key to access the corresponding value. So you see it has printed 72 as the value. And similarly for accessing the status of lights, we can just use and see lights are on. This is how we access values inside a dictionary using the keys provided. And dictionaries can still use integer values as keys, just like list use integer for indexes, but in dictionary they do not have to start at 0 and they can be any number. So look at this example. So this example uses integer as the keys for the dictionary items and the values are this. And similarly for accessing this dictionary we use a similar format like this. So let us compare list and dictionary. So unlike list, the items in the dictionary are unordered. The first item in a list would always start with index 0, and but there is no first item in a dictionary. While the order of items matters for determining whether two lists are the same, it doesn't matter in what order the key value pairs are typed in a dictionary. Let's say that we have two lists and the list one is morning routine. It has shower, coffee and news, and we have an alternate routine which is coffee, news and shower. So the order of the items in these two lists are different, but the items are same, but just the order is different. But if we just do a comparison between these two lists, say morning routine equals alternate routine and print this, it will print false because these two lists are not equal. So lists are ordered collection. So for two lists to be same, they have to be in the same order. If we use the items in the same order inside a list and run this, it will result in a true. Let us check the same for dictionaries. Let's say that we have two dictionaries, and the dictionary one is car one, which has make as Toyota, model as Camry, year as 2022, and we have car 2 which has the same data but in a different order. So it starts with year as 2022, which is same as here. We have make as Toyota, which is same as here, and we have model as Camry, which is same as here. And if we now try to print the comparison between car 1 and car 2, I just say car 1 equals car 2, it will result as true because dictionaries are unordered sequence, they are not ordered. And let's say that you are accessing the items in a dictionary, but what if there are some missing items in a dictionary? Because dictionaries are not ordered, they can be sliced like lists, right? Trying to access a key that does not exist in a dictionary will result in an key error message, much like a list out of range index error message in the list. Let's say that we have an example of a dictionary which has student has name as Alex Smith and grade as grade A. And if we try to access something other than the name and grade in the student dictionary, I'm trying to print the attendance of the student, it shows an error stating that key error. because the key attendance is not present in the dictionary. So for us to handle this, we can use a get method. It's very tedious to check whether a key exists in a dictionary before accessing that key's value. So fortunately, dictionaries have this get method that takes two arguments, which is the key of the value that we are trying to retrieve and a fallback value to return if that key doesn't exist in the dictionary. Let's say we have a dictionary called fitness goals. It has number of steps as 10,000 and calories as 2,500. So if we just use the traditional way of reading the items in the dictionary, so let's say that I am trying to access something called water intake. So I just wanted to print water intake. So if I use this traditional way and run this, we get an error stating this, the key water intake doesn't exist. But I know that the default water intake is going to be 8 cups and I wanted to print 8 if there is no value present for this 8. So for that, instead of using this, I will just say print fitness goals dot get. I'll use this get method and I'll try to print the same thing, which is water intake, and I'll provide one more parameter called the default parameter, which is 8. So if I print this now, it will look for this water intake. So if the water intake is present, that will be printed. If the water intake is not present in the fitness goals dictionary, it will print the default value, which is 8 in this case. So you can see that 8 is printed. Now let's say that we have this key already present in this dictionary and water intake is 7, and if we print, so it prints 7 because water intake is already present in this dictionary. So this is the use of the get method in a dictionary. And there is one more option to handle with this, which is the set default method. Now let's say that in the same dictionary you want to add something called workout duration. So if you try to access this workout duration directly, it will throw an error because this is not present in the dictionary given. In a traditional way, how we handle this dictionary when there is no key is that, let's say that this is our fitness goals dictionary, and we basically check workout duration is present in the dictionary already. We just check if this workout duration is present. If workout duration is present in, just check if the workout duration is present or not in the dictionary. So the traditional way is we check if this duration is not in fitness goals. If this is not there in fitness goals, we just go on assign some value to it, 45 minutes. And then we print fitness goals here. So it has printed steps, calories, water intake, and workout duration. And if you try to access that workout duration here, it should work the 45 minutes because the workout duration is not present in fitness goals. We are making that value 45 minutes. Let's say that the workout duration is already present and it has some value of say 30 minutes. And if we run this, it will print 30 minutes because it's not executing this if clause because the workout duration is already present in the dictionary. Now let's look at the set default method. For that, I am just creating another dictionary and I am calling that dictionary as social media. It has platform as Instagram and followers as 1000. I will set a default value for post. The number of posts are 0. So once I set this default value, and if I try to print this dictionary, which is social media, so it will basically print platform as Instagram, followers as 1000 and post as 0. So after setting this default value, it will add this key as well into the dictionary. So the very first time this dictionary is called, the dictionary in the social media changes to this dictionary. Now let's write a simple example, which is the counter program. So for this, I will use something called email list. I'll tell what this program is about in a bit. So I have the list of emails, which is user1 at gmail.com. So these are the list of emails given. I wanted to count the occurrence of each domain. So let's say that in this list, Gmail has occurred for 3 times, 1, 2, 3. I wanted to say gmail.com and 3 times. And Hotmail is seen for 2 times, and I mentioned Hotmail and 2. Outlook appeared for 1 time. And I just wanted to write some code to count the occurrences of each mail, and I am going to use dictionary for solving this problem. So I'll just initialize a empty dictionary called domain count, and I'll make it an empty dictionary, and I will iterate through every email in the email list. I'll say for email in email list. So I'll go through every email, and in every email I have to separate the username and the domain. For that I will use split. I will do email dot split, and split is based on the @ keyword. So I will split it into two parts. The first, this is the 0th part, and this is going to be the first part. So when we do email dot split, it will basically return a list of the values that are separated by @. So in this case, it will give us a list of user1 and gmail.com. So in that list, I want to select gmail.com. So that can be done using selecting the index 1, because user1 is at index 0 and gmail.com will be at index 1. So just to be very clear, so it will return a list which is user1 and gmail.com. So when you execute that email.split, it will return us this. So user1 is at index 0 and gmail.com is at index 1, and I am using 1 here to access this gmail.com, and I will assign this to a variable called domain. So I'll say this is my domain, and in this domain count I want to store the result. So initially this domain count is empty. Now when I say domain, when it ran for the first time, it has got this gmail.com as domain. So what I do, I will set the default here, domain count dot set default. I will set the domain and the number of occurrences as 0. So now the dictionary becomes something like this. So it will be a dictionary which will have gmail.com as the key followed by 0 as the value. So after this line, our dictionary becomes like this. Now what I wanted to do, we have seen this gmail.com. I wanted to increment the value of this domain by 1. So I'll just do domain count of this domain plus equal to 1. So now this will become, so it will get the domain count of domain, which is it will get the gmail.com, which becomes 0, and it will do an increment of 1. So 0 plus 1 becomes 1. Now it becomes 0 plus 1 after the first iteration. So let's look at some other iterations when it is at user 5. So if it is at user 5 and it will come here, so it will look at gmail.com again, and it will try to set default for this gmail.com as 0. But as this gmail.com is already present from the first value, it will not change anything in the dictionary. It will just keep it whatever is there for the gmail.com key. And if we try to print the final result, it would be gmail.com is for 3 times, hotmail.com is for twice, and outlook.com is appeared once. And dictionaries can also be nexted. For example, if you look at this, we have a dictionary called restaurant menu, and restaurant menu has breakfast as lunch as keys, and breakfast in turn is a dictionary again, and it has pancakes and omelette as keys, and they are also a dictionaries again, and it has price as some value, calories as some value, and ingredients as a list. So a dictionary can have a list inside it. So dictionaries and list can be nested to each other, and this is a valid dictionary. And if you try to print this restaurant menu, so it has printed as this complete line. But what if you want to print this in a way that is easy to understand? So for that we have something called pprint library, which is also called the pretty print library. So if you import this library, I'll import pprint. You will have access to two modules, which is like pprint, which is one, and there is one more module called pprint.pformat. So these two modules will help us pretty print a dictionary's values. And this is helpful when you want a cleaner display of the items in a dictionary than what this print provides. Let's say that I have imported this pprint module. Now I'll instead of using the print, I will use pprint. Pprint dot pprint. I will pass this restaurant menu. And we can also check this as well. So I'm printing both this restaurant menu and this thing. And if you run this, see, the first print has printed everything in a single line. But if you look at what pretty print has done, it has given the breakfast, and inside the breakfast it has omelette and pancakes. And inside omelette we have three keys, which is calories, ingredients, and price. And inside pancakes, which we have three items, calories, ingredients, and price. So this is the use of this p print, because if you look at the normal print, it is providing everything in a single line, which is difficult to read. But if you look at this p print result, it is very easy to read. Try to create your own dictionary and explore these options, so it will help you get some good understanding. And these examples cover various scenarios where dictionaries are incredibly useful. So these examples cover various scenarios of dictionaries and where dictionaries can be incredibly useful. And that's it for our Python dictionaries tutorial. We have covered everything from basic operations to we have also seen one real world application of how to implement these dictionaries in your coding. And remember, dictionaries are incredibly versatile and can be used to solve all sorts of our programming challenges efficiently. If you like me to explain any of these concepts in more detail or provide more examples for a specific use case, add your question in the comments below. And I have attached the link to this entire code in the description below. Please have a look at it and change these values and explore it with your own values. Thank you and happy coding.